Hello everyone. Today we will be looking at all the Beyblades, starting with the Metal Fusion series, working our way up to the Shogun Steel series. That's the most recent. So we'll start at the first and end at the newest. Okay, so first of all, first we have Dark Bull. Dark Bull is incredibly useless in the sense that the Dark Fusion wheel is completely pointless. His spin track is stupid as well. The only thing slightly useful is his energy ring, which is the second heaviest in the Metal Fusion series, and a mid-tier performance tip. Then we have Dark Asher. Dark Asher is completely useless as well in the sense that his spin track cannot change in the middle of battle like in the show. The FS performance tip is terrible, and Dark is again the worst fusion wheel in Beyblade history. Now there's Dark Wolf. Dark Wolf is another incredibly useless Beyblade, no need to talk about that. Flame Bull is incredibly useless as well, but the only thing slightly useful is the Bull energy ring, because it is heavy in the sense that it is one of the heaviest in the Metal Fusion in the Metal series, yeah. Flame Sagittario is useless as well. The Flame Fusion wheel used to be okay, but then it was overpowered by the Basalt Fusion wheel. So yes, it is pointless as well. The older ones don't really have much use unless it's Basalt Herogium, but we'll get into that later. Lightning Drago, this is a limited edition release of it. That came with Storm Pegasus, also colored purple and blue. The HF performance tip is favored over many other performance tips because it has unpredictability in its attacks, and it can go back to spinning really fast when it's hit, instead of wasting all its energy. Now, Lightning Eldrago and Lightning had to be used together, and nothing else could be used with Eldrago, such as Eldrago had to be used with Lightning, and Lightning had to be used with Eldrago. One cannot be seen without the other, because they're just fit together. And also, like in the show, when it switches, it doesn't really do much. So yeah. Rock Aquario is pointless in the sense that, also the 100 spin track is incredibly small, so that's useful for some attack type bays. Rock Aquario is completely outpowered in the sense that the SF performance tip is semi-flat, so it doesn't really do anything really well. Spin track is too normal. Fusion wheel is rock, which is not that good. Aquario has no special variety to it, so yeah. Rock Aries has an interesting spin track that I like to play with, but WB is better than B any day, and again, Rock is terrible. Aries is normal. Rock Leon has a WB performance tip, which I said is incredibly useful for defense type bays, which is why it's favored it used to be favored in the community during the Metal Masters and Metal Fusion time. Storm Aquario has an interesting point to it. The HFS was new at the time, so it was pretty fun to play with. Also, it was a really small bay in the fact that Storm was a smaller fusion wheel. So it was small, it was fast, but it was not good enough because Aquario didn't do much to it. But yes, the 100 spin track is pretty good, but the HFS was too awkward, so no, it didn't work out. Now Storm Aries over here, again, Aries isn't that useful. 1, 2, 5 is to plane, and S is mainly used for stamina, but this is a defense type base, so I'm confused. Storm Pegasus, the protagonist of the Metal Fusion and Metal Fusion series. 105 performance tip is too tall, is a little bit too tall, which the 100 and the 90 performance tip spin tracks are better. The rubber flat RF was actually really useful for gripping and going really fast, but then that was outmaneuvered by the other RFs, and the R2F and the RF2F, and etc. Pegasus is an okay energy ring. Storm Capricorn was one of the worst Beyblades. in reality, in the sense that the Quake tip in the M145, it did bounce a lot, which I loved, like in the show, but it died in less than 30 seconds or 45 seconds, which was horrible, even for an attack type A. Storm is overused and normal. Capricorn had nothing special to it. Dark Bull, same thing really. Now Earth Eagle, everyone thinks is so good, but really the WD can be outmaneuvered by the WB, and then the 145 spin track is pretty tall, so that was okay. And Earth used to be a really, really good fusion wheel until the Basalt Heroium came out, so that outperformed it, but that was good for a while. And then Eagle didn't really do much to it, but so you could replace it with Bull to have a better combo. Flame Libra, used by you, I love you. The Eternal Sharp Performance Tip, or ES, was pretty standard and pretty solid. Not standard, it was pretty good and pretty solid. And the T125 had it was a Tornado 125 spin, but it was pretty tall and had a nice movement to it. But it stayed still, which is really nice. And the Flame fusion wheel was really wide, so that kind of drew attention. But it was good for keeping keeping its balance. So it was good for a while, but then you had to replace the spin track with something else. Oh, Flame Sagittarius was part of the combo pack. It was not used in the show, other than small children's bays that did nothing. The C125 performance tip was used by Flame Sagittarius, whose whips out like claws apparently, or craw, spinning flame craw. The S performance tip is too plain; it does not do much. The C1245 actually damages the bay and the other person, but primarily the bay itself. Sagittarius had a nice equilibrium to the energy ring, and the flame fusion wheel again was wide, so it was good for a while. Rock Orso was terrible in the fact that Orso was slightly heavier than the others, but still underused because Bull was much better at the time. The performance tip is horrible. The D125 was actually pretty fun. The D125 was fun to play with, but it did not do much because when it was hit, it really messed it up. And Orso is for the bear. So yes, Rock was again a horrible fusion wheel. It could be replaced with Earth easily. Rock Pegasus, again a part of a combo pack. It was a horrible bay. It was a way for them to get money. Storm Leon, again, I was not using the show as part of the combo pack again. This was a terrible combo because it tried to combine attack and defense and stamina and balance. Well, to create a balance type. The HF was good. The spin track was 100, which was the best spin track for attack types at the time. Storm Fusion Wheel was pretty solid, but then the Leon was just drew everything away from it. It was a standard attack combo, which was actually a little bit above average, but the Leon energy ring was just out of place. Evil Gemios. The Evil Fusion Wheel was pointless in the fact that it did not do much because it looks like an attack type, but really it's not. So it's used for attack, but it's a defense kind, so that's confusing for everyone. The downslot, the DF145 spin track was what was the tallest of the time, which was pretty good, but it was too thick, so it kept on getting hit and messing it up. And the FS performance tip is for attack and defense and stamina, which is horrible because it wasn't even balanced. The Gemios was a light energy ring, which was awkward for the evil fusion wheel, which is heavier. Rock Scorpio was it was interesting in the fact that it was used by a guy in the show, and the JB performance tip came out because it has tiny little balls on the bottom of the tip for friction, but that was used for to get past oil in the TV show and stuff. And it was good in the show, and I could see a bunch of situations in anime which it could be good for, but not in reality. The T125 spin track was again okay. The fusion wheel for Rock was pretty good, and Scorpio energy ring was pretty solid. Actually, it was terrible. I don't know, I just said that. Fusion wheel and energy ring were terrible. Burn Fireblaze, Jinka's father. When this came out, Burn was an incredibly good fusion wheel because it was great for stamina types. The Metal Shot performance tip was okay, but it made a bunch of holes in the stadium, which I did not understand why. The 135 spin track combined both height and thinness for the best ability. So it was okay spin track, but once Basalt Hero game came out, it completely changed the meta game. Dark Libra, again, one of the stupid combos that they used to do. Dark is the worst fusion wheel known to man. Libra was a pretty good equilibrium for stamina types. SD was just really awkward to play with, and 81 for 5 was used for obeyed rock areas, which we will look at soon. Rock Gasher. Rock, again, horrible fusion wheel. DF 1 for 5, bad. WB, great performance tip at the time. Gasher, terrible. Storm Capricorn, again, horrible. Thermal Pisces had the ES performance tip, which Flame Libra also shared with it, which is because the ES had its own friction point, so it could spin on its own. But the T125 was a good combination for it at the time, but later on it was used to be the ES was not used well. A thermal fusion wheel was just bad because it kept on catching on the attack types and messing the bay up in the attack types one. And then Pisces was a bad engineering. Poison Serpent, I don't know, it looks really cool, but the fusion wheel for Poison was horrible because it has too many gaps and too many clothes, didn't do much, too light. The SW145 was used for show because it kept on. This bay usually just hit something and then died because it kept on hitting it way too much. It was 13 parts on the fusion wheel. And Serpent was just another run-of-the-mill energy ring. Okay, let's look at one of the better ones. Grace Virgo had a terrible performance to BS, called BS for a reason, but then the GB, the Global Ball 145, had height, and then it was interesting because it spun, and then gave perfect symmetry, which was perfect for a stamina base. But let's just say that if a small bay, like a tax type bay, hit it got off balance, but it got right back on track, but then it lost a lot of stamina. So it was like give and take. Earth, great fusion wheel. Virgo, perfectly symmetric, but not that great. Thermal Laceretta. Okay, so now we're going into the Metal Masters version. Metal Masters, which we will see all the better bays. Thermal Laceretta had the HF performance tip, which is good, but then a new WA 130, which is a new height, and it's supposed to hit the other person's spin tracks, but since it was small enough on its own, it wasn't small, but the fact that it couldn't really hit the other person's unless it was exact height and it was an exact movement. Long story short, it did not work out. Thermal was again an okay to terrible thing, and Laceretta did not have much research done for the energy ring. Race Striker was good because of the CS performance tip gave it both attack and defense. And stamina, so it could spin, and then once it got off track, it just stayed still for a little bit and got right back to hitting someone. The D125 spin track was okay. The Ray fusion wheel was used for attack, but ended up being used for stamina. The Striker energy ring was relatively okay, I guess. Very few energy rings actually matter. Okay, Legend Thunder was just part of the Legend series, and Thunder Libra. This is one of the legendary bays that came out, and I have actually all of them, except for this one. BS, okay, DF, terrible. BS, okay, yeah, okay. DF, terrible. Thunder was new, and it gave some symmetry, but again, once Basalt Hero game came out, it changed everything. Libra, run of the mill. Okay, let's look at one of the ones I like more. This one was an incredibly small, incredibly thin bay, and it ran around incredibly fast, but the thing is, it flew itself inside it was so light that it flew itself inside the penalty box or out of the stadium really, really fast. And if nothing weighed it down, it just flew everywhere, and if it hit the bay, it didn't really move the bay that much. It had momentum, but no weight. Okay, Inferno Sagittaria. Inferno was, it looked cool, but really it's not that good. And Sagittaria, okay. S, performance tip bad. Spin track 1 for 5. So it was pretty good, but pretty thick. But it's not that great of a bay. Midnight Bowl. Let's talk about this real quick. The fusion wheel is made so that the energy ring gets hit, which changed a lot of some combinations. So Bowl was a good combination because Bowl's heavy and Midnight was able to, like, if it got hit, it didn't fly out of the stadium. 125 was too small though, so I don't like 125 because it's too standard. And the SF was bad. So, but I really like the fusion wheel here and the energy ring. Night Virgo, it was a bay. I forgot who used it, but the F1 for 5 bad, BS bad. Virgo okay. Night was interesting in the fact that it had an attack type. It had an attack type fusion wheel, which I used to actually form my combinations that I won a couple tourneys with. But that's rare for it to be able to do. But because yeah, we had to combine it with some other things. So yeah. Torch areas. Okay, Torch again. Okay, 125 bad. D okay. Okay, but WD is better, but WB is even better than that. Areas we'll look at with rock areas because it was actually pretty solid, but it was used in the show for something attacking from above, and no Beyblades usually attack from above, and if it does, you're just screwed. The Torch fusion wheel, however, was used in the fact that if this defense type bay, well, the fusion wheel, let's say I like it more for defense, but can be used for stamina. But if an attack type hits it, the fusion wheel knocks the other bay. So while defending, it's also attacking, which I liked a lot, but I did not use that much. Counter Leon was a thinner version of Rock Leon, because Counter was closer, and it's a more compressed version of Rock Leon. So Counter was just a better version of Rock, but still not that good. 145 bad, D bad, Leon bad. Cyber Pegasus, it's a part of Legend series, but it was actually in the show, if you watch, used by someone that's impersonating a Jenga, but didn't have a special move for the longest time. F performance did bad. 105, okay, but 100 is better. Cyber was interesting because it's like Storm, but smaller and thinner, but that's not necessarily always good for an attack type. So, bad. I mean, not bad, but awkwardly placed. Pegasus, bad. So, Bay was just basically bad. Okay, Fury Capricorn had the Fury which looks like Midnight, and it's basically Midnight, but only the energy ring does not get hit. Capricorn, bad. 100, better. SF, not that great. Aquorso again, nope. Okay, the Flame Aries. Flame, okay. Aries, bad. H125 was a Bull's fusion wheel, right? Bull's fun spin track. So no. FS bad. Terrible combination, part of the combo pack. And a Drago limited edition version, not that limited edition actually, and yeah, we already talked about that. Earth Wolf, part of the combo pack. Earth, good. Wolf, terrible. 100, you mainly use for attack type, so no. WD, okay, but no. Fury Capricorn again. Poison Pegasus, part of the combo pack. Evil Pisces, part of a combo pack because this is not. The ED is used for rock areas, which we need to get to soon because there's a bunch of stuff I need to talk about with that. Flame Vixus, okay, this is what everyone was raving about. This changed, along with Solar Rogan, this changed everything. Spin track was 230. Look how, like, it's incredibly tall. It's twice the height of other spin tracks sometimes. Well, almost twice the height. Flame was good, so this was mainly stamina bay because you can't really hit the bay that much. You have to hit the spin track, unless you can hit it hard enough to tilt it and start swerving everywhere. With the WD, you get back on track. But if you had WB, then that just goes crazy and you can't hit it at all. but then it doesn't go back that easily. So yeah, WD was a good choice. Flame, okay. Vixus was better than some of the others. So this was a great combination. It's a great bait to buy, but mainly for the spin track. Yeah. Oh, I skipped something. Go Pisces, or yeah, we're talking about that. I skipped Galaxy Pegasus. Galaxy Pegasus is a limited version of Galaxy Pegasus. Actually, it's not, but it had a painted fusion wheel, which looks really nice. The W105 was just wings added onto the 105. So again, I did not like it that much. And so yeah, but I didn't exactly enjoy it. But the R2F was better than the RF, but it will be outshone by the R2F2. So yeah. And then Pegasus 2 was not that much different from Pegasus. Grand Cetus WD145RS. RS was rubber sharp, which was good in the beginning because it gave friction, but then it slowed down. So you had to give up some of your momentum for friction. So it didn't get hit out, but it didn't last as long. So it's a standard. It's not standard. It's actually a counter bay, depending on who you're going against. WD145 Rock Aries, I'll talk about that later. Grand was it was almost like Cyber in the sense that it was almost like Counter Leon, in the sense that it was compressed and smaller. Not that it looks nice, but not that special. Cetus was like a whale, but it was still again standard. Inferno Gasher, Inferno, not that great anymore at this time. SW, smaller wings, not that great, not good at all. 145, it was bad. SF, semi-flat, no. Gasher, no. Gravity Destroyer. This bay is very interesting and very fun to talk about. Okay. Okay, so it looks fantastic because it is fantastic. It's a great combination as well. Much like the Lightning El Drago, Gravity and Destroyer had to be used together, much like Lightning and El Drago had to be used together. They can interchange as well, but it did not do that much again. 80 was basically like a shield. It was like a fatter version, but it was like so yeah, it was better for defense type bays, which is why this was a great defense bay. And WD was pretty good, but I replaced it with WB and it was even better. So this was a great bay. Also, the coolest thing is it's left and right spinning, so whichever launcher you have, you can launch it either way. Ray Striker, this one was part of the combo pack. No, it's not. This is a different version of it. Part of the combo pack still. Rock Zarafa. Okay, so they brought back the Rock in Metal Masters. I do not know why, because Rock is a terrible fusion wheel, especially at this point. R145 is a friction type spin track, which is like flame bowls except with rubber. So it was special in the sense that it kept on if you hit it, it would repeatedly. If you hit the spin track would repeatedly hit you back. So it's like an attack spin track. The WB is a great performance tip for defense types, even at this time. The Rock Energy Ring for Serafa, again, is like milligrams off different, so it's still standard. The Relasretta, just different coloring of it, combo packs. Then the Leon combo packs with Thunder is, we already talked about Thunder, yeah. And GBBS, yeah. Twisted Tempo. The Basalt Hero game I'm talking about is a Japanese word, is a Japanese name for Twisted Tempo. Twisted Tempo changed the entire metagame, along with the other bay I told you changed the metagame. Flame Vixus. Twisted is the heaviest fusion wheel. It was incredibly heavy. Tempo was not that good. Spin track was standard. WD was good for this bay. But if you combine Twisted Bull 230 WB or WD, either one, it was completely overpowered in the defense category. That bay is so hard to counter. Like if you have it, try it out. Try Twisted Bull 230 WD or WB. It's so hard to counter. Oh my gosh. So it changed everything in the gaming community. Cyclone Herculeo this was an attack type energy ring, which is better than Cyber and Storm, so it was a pretty good fusion wheel. 105 spin track, it's not as good as 100. F performance dip, not that good. Herculeo was again standard. Dark Wolf, they brought it back. I don't know why. It was part of a combo pack. Yeah. Ray Serpent, part of combo pack. M145 is the one used for one of the worst bays. I can't think of the name right now. Storm Capricorn. So yeah. Serpent, bad. Ray, okay. M145, horrible. MS, Hades Kerbex. This was new because no, we're not yet. Yep, here we go. We're going into Metal, the other Metal series, not Metal Masters, but the one after. Nope, we're still in Metal Masters actually. This is last been Metal Masters. The BD, well, it was released later on, but Hades was actually these three had to go together. It was a weird thing. DS with a new performance tip. It was new. It was interesting. It wasn't used frequently, but it was actually pretty good comparatively. But it could only be used effectively for a very small amount of combos. The Energy Ring Kerbex was pretty okay. Hades was interesting because it was pure. It was pure, it was smaller. It was a really small type of bay, but so I would assume attack was actually stamina. So I don't have much to say about that. Okay, now we're going into the other type. Beyblade Metal Fury. Beyblade Metal Fury was is the third season of Beyblade Metal Blank. This is Metal. Oh no, hold on. No, this is still Metal Masters. Never mind. So Meteor El Drago was this incarnation of Lightning El Drago. Like there was Storm Pegasus, now there's Galaxy Pegasus. Meteor El Drago LW105, which I don't like it. 105 is better. LF is good, but I'm not sure which is better, LF or HF. I'm not sure which one I like more. These two had to be used together, like Lightning and El Drago. Meteor and El Drago had to be used together. Poison Virgo, it was a terrible thing. It was in the show, but it was terrible because ES was not that good anymore. Edie was not good. Poison was horrible, and Virgo is outpowered now. Ray Gill, Ray is no case. Fusion Wheel 100 was a good spin track. And RSF, Rubber Sharp Flat. It was Rubber Sharp or Rubber Flat is better, so whenever they try to combine the two, it's never really that good. Gill was a pretty good, actually, energy ring. Current Cetus, just a different version of the Cetus. Yeah, just different coloring. Hyper Orso, which is part of the combo pack. It was Hyper, which is one of the legendary Beyblade parts we talked about. JB, Jake Ball, horrible. SF, horrible. Orso, now horrible. Hyper, not that good anymore. Rock's Offer, just different coloring, so yeah, same thing. Torch Gemios. Okay, Torch, we already talked about that. That's okay, but not that good. Usually, the Legend series was just interesting, it's better than it was actually useful. CS, again, interesting, not much to talk about. W105, bad. Gemios, bad. Torch, interesting, but not that good. Flame Serpent. Flame Serpent, Flame was okay. Serpent was okay. F was bad at this time, and SW was horrible, so yeah. Especially, so they made this a balanced bay, but balanced bays are usually terrible. Specialize in one thing, don't get balanced. Different coloring of the Galaxy Pegasus, I like this one a lot more. It's limited edition. Halo Dragon, another limited edition coloring of it. Thermal Gemios, Thermal okay, Gemios bad. Actually, now Thermal bad, Gemios bad, T125 bad, and Sharp bad. So yeah, that's just bad bay. Cyber Aquario, okay. Bad Fusion Wheel, bad. Well, I like the coloring, bad Fusion Wheel, bad Energy Ring, bad Spin Track, and RS, which could be useful. But yeah, bad bay. Counter Scorpio, just bad bay. That's not what we're talking about that. Burn Wolf. Burn is really interesting. In the sense that, yeah, we already talked about it. Burn Phoenix, yeah, was wider. So SW bad, WD, oh, good. Wolf bad, and Burn is good for stamina types. Bakushin Suns Now. This was a really limited edition because it usually came with the video game for the DS version. So yeah, if you have it, please give it to me. WF was wide flat, so that was an attack type. Spin track was 90. That's where it was incredibly small. So it was great for attack types. Bakushin was bad. It was better used for defense. Sun Snow was just another It looks cooler, so I used it more. Evil Befall. Evil, bad. UW145 was a different version of the not ED. It was a different version of, Rox Rafa's one. It was a different version of Rox Rafa's spin track. Eternal Wide Disc, which is an even bigger version of WD. So it was actually better. So, and the fall was bad. Gravity Destroyer, we already talked about that. This was just a different version of it. Yeah. And then, Meteor Drago, different coloring again. This was, no, it's not different coloring. This was different, had different parts, different coloring and different parts. This was spin track 85. It was even smaller than all the others. 85 spin track. Smallest one yet. This was even better for attack types. But 90 is better because 85 sometimes it's good the ground, so better would be safe than sorry. But 85 got really nice and under it. XF Extreme Flight just started jumping everywhere, which wasn't that good. It usually flew out of the stadium. Meteor El Drago, pretty good. Poison Zarafa. Part of the combo pack, nice coloring, it looked okay. But the S130 was weird. I didn't like it and really plan how to use it. MB Metal Ball was it really changed the game. So as long as you weren't, if you were thrown into the air though, you were dead, which actually happens sometimes. So yeah, Spiral Capricorn. Spiral was an interesting attack type, but it was not. I didn't like it that much at all because it was unpredictable, and unpredictability leaves its chance, and chance is bad. Capricorn bad, 90 good. MF okay. Nightmare Rex. Nightmare was an interesting but bad fusion wheel. SW145 was and at this time point it was a bad spin track. Usually special spin tracks are bad. And SD sharp disc was used for a defense, but yeah. Rex was really heavy. Not really, but it was pretty heavy, so it was good if you didn't have anything else. I still like Bull better. Vulcan Horseus. Really nice, really limited edition, hard to find. Not really limited edition, but it was hard to find. D, bad. 145, good, I guess, but 230 was even better. Vulcan, it was kind of like Midnight, except this time the energy ring wasn't attacked. But still, it's best to have a heavier one. Okay. Fang Leon. Fusion of Fang. Fang was bad. Leon was bad. 130 was just bad. WTUD was, I think I like that more than EWD, I'm not completely sure. But it was a tie between EWD and WT2D. Okay. Okay, so Spiral Lyre. Lear. The MF performance tip was okay at the time, but then the ED145 was used for Rock Aries. Where was Rock Aries in this? Oh my gosh, Spiral Lyre, Spiral Lear. Spiral was, again, interesting, but Lear was bad. It was just a bad day overall, really. Scythe Chronos. Scythe was a heavier fusion wheel, which is pretty good. And the Chronos was no kid. Energy ring, nothing special. The T125 was bad, and EDS with Eternal Disc Sharp, something like that. Which was different. It combined stamina and defense, but it usually just stayed still, which was good, but you should really make a stamina bay, so don't really have I would prefer something more like, not burn, but some other symmetrical fusion wheel. Okay, so beat links, hold on. We were just asked for, oh yeah. Scythe Chronos. Scythe was heavy. No, I just have that, sorry about that, guys, messed up. Okay, so beat links. Beat was actually, it was smaller, so it was good for attack types. AD145 was a nice, solid defense type, though. WD was good, but it was outrigged by EWD or WTD. I like EWD better. Links, okay. It was okay. Cosmic Pegasus. Now moving to the Metal Fury section of this. R2F was used again. So yeah. It was R2F because R2F2 is the cause for the next season. And the W105 is not as good as the 90 or 85. Cosmic was standard. Pegasus standard. Eldrago Destructor. Eldrago, again, good combo. LW105, not as good as the 80 or 90. LF was better for the left bays. I think I prefer R2F over LF. No, I still prefer HF, really. Okay, so Blitz Striker. Blitz was a nice attack kind of bay because I hit it about 9 times in one rotation. S for sharp flat, but I prefer R2F. 185 or 90 is better. Striker, not that special. Cyclone Hercules. But Cyclone was a really good attack kind of bay. 105, again, one of the small ones are better. Flat was bad. Hercules was heavier. Divine Crown. Divine, as you can tell, looks a lot like Counter. So, but there's better ones, such as Twisted. TR145 was supposed to redirect the attacks it got, but that doesn't really work in real life that much. D was bad, Crown was bad, but I like, it looks okay, but it's not that good. Yeah, this bay, Phantom was a pretty good bay, actually. Orion was not. Phantom was an okay, actually, now that I think about it, it was only okay. Nothing special. But it was good for defense, stamina types, because it was heavy, but not that heavy. 145, standard, yes, no. And there's Forbidden Ionis. Forbidden was, no, bad. ED, bad. FB, new, but bad. Ionis, bad. It's a bad bay. Proto-Nemesis. Proto-Nemesis was, okay, this is where we had a new style. This is where Proton was a good, Proto was a pretty good fusion, Terra fusion, real Nemesis was good, but they had to use it together, which was pretty awkward. AD was okay, good for defense, D was bad. Spiral Fox was, Spiral bad, Fox bad, 130 standard, so bad, D bad. Jade Jupiter, Jade was pretty bad. 130 standard bad, B ball bad. Jupiter was interesting, it's just spike and everything, looks like poison, but not good. Cosmic Pegasus is different coloring, but except FD was tied together, so they had to be used together. The Cosmic was changing, so this sale is just weird. But, I mean, it's not really considered a real Beyblade. None of the rest are. Yeah, these Beyblades are all. Okay, let me just tell you the rest about all these Beyblades. All these Beyblades have to be used, like, together. Like, the only thing interchangeable are the fusion wheel / energy ring, because they're combined, and spin track. So, yes. So, you can put, that's it. Because the spin tracks are the same thing as the performance tips now. And the fusion wheels are the same thing as the energy rings now, so yeah. So Cosmic Pegasus is actually strong attack, and the spin track is pretty solid. Diablo Nemesis, Diablo really good for defense, Nemesis good, and XD not good. Flash was good, 230 was the best, WD was really good, Sagittarius was bad. Kreese was good, all these are good. All these are good. Cygnus was standard. 5 standard WD, good. Eldrago Destructor was a solid attack type, better than Storm. And FS was so much better than FD. Omega Dragonus. Now we're back to normal Beyblades. Spin Track 845, really good. XF was, again, it's pretty good. Omega was a pretty hard hitting, and so it knocked the Bay out of the stadium, so that's good. And Dragonus, I prefer Bull. Phantom Orion again, just different looking at it, yeah. So yeah, BD, it was okay. Phantom, no. Orion, no. And that's all the ones that we have so far. Well, that's the vast majority of them. Subscribe, like, comment. I'll keep on doing this. This is my second video. Go check out the other ones. And have a nice day. Goodbye.